Hello, welcome to a new video. We're gonna talk about BTC, some alts, and what I expect next generally. First off, check out the promotion from Bybit below. It's an October exclusive bonus, gives you some extra USDT bonus, etc. Okay, let's get into it. Right now, and I mean we've been here for a while now, we're still hovering against this daily 200 MA, which is this purple line, which is also coincidentally it sits at 28k, and when we go to the weekly, we also have the 28.2k level, which has the 200 weekly MA. So those are basically at the same level, paired with this grayscale pump high. So it's no coincidence that we're stalling back here, and I think it makes sense that people are selling here. I mean, it's resistance. It will be resistance until proven otherwise. But I think like this was a pretty harsh rejection, and we did take the liquidity above, so that's not ideal on the bullish side, I'd say. But since then, price has scrolled back here, and it's now kind of just hovering here with a few daily closes against this resistance. Usually when you consolidate below resistance for this long, the longer it sits here, the likelier the chance it will break out. Obviously, we don't have any confirmation yet, and I would want to wait for a break above and a daily close above, ideally this high. So I'd say like 28.2 to 28.5. I think if you close in this area, it would look pretty good. But until then, this will be resistance, and I think for this like the bullish market structure to stay intact, which we had for a while. Like we have higher lows here generally and higher highs. For this to stay intact, I would really not want to see us go below 27k, and ideally, I don't think on the lower time frames we should go even below this weekend wick which we had here, because I think if we go below here, I think there's a good chance we will fill this move which we had on Friday. So good to note, on Friday we had this huge, basically this dump into this huge reversal. Same happened on things like stocks. This was due to a higher than expected job number, but I think that was an opportunity for bigger players to get some liquidity, to close out some shorts and whatnot, which caused this squeeze up. We also saw yields sweep the highs once more and then fall from there, so that's decent. But obviously, sadly, we had this basically full on war breakout in the Middle East, so that's obviously not great in general, but that's also what's scaring the markets a bit. So gold is up, stocks are down, Bitcoin is kinda sideways from that point onwards, but yeah, keep an eye on the situation, and let's hope for everyone's sake that it will get better soon. Not per se for the markets, but just in general. But we'll have to see how this does impact the markets in the end. I mean, it can have a variety of impacts, so we'll see throughout the week. So basically, 28k will be important on like the higher time frames. Until then, I think like this structure it's slowly creeping up, but the bulls will have to at some point make a move and break their way through here. Otherwise, this could just turn into like another rejection, and then it's slowly crawls back down. We get like 26k or back in this range, and then it's all gonna look not so great, and it's gonna be awful slowly chop sideways, I think. I do expect more volatility. I mean, we had a volatile Friday, and with all this stuff going on in the world now, I can't imagine we're not gonna see some big moves, probably up and down, occur this week. To easily journal and track your trades, consider trying out CoinMarketManager. It's as simple as connecting your exchange API to the website to get your analytics ready. Sign up using the link below, get a 14-day trial, and I hope you really enjoy it. I know I've been using it for a while, and I can't go without at this point. Alright, heading on to Bitcoin Dominance, not too much change here. I mean, this previous range high, held nicely. It's now really trending back up, but that's mostly because ETH BTC has just been bleeding endlessly. Even this falling wedge, however you want to draw it, it's not giving any support at all. And eventually this is the level everyone wants to look for, or everyone is looking for, which makes sense. It's this previous range low. Alternatively, all the way down here is even possible. I think this is a solid area. I do also think that I think ETH will make some kind of bounce in between to like one more to, or maybe it like stops right below, then bounces and then goes into this area again. Because I think there's a lot of people trying to get positions in here or get some ETH here. And I think that's going to get front run initially for a while and then maybe go back there at some point. I will say that I don't think we're going to see any like really sizable alt season except for maybe a few 1 or 2 weeks. Like we had 2 weeks ago, we had like a solid alt run until the ETF is approved or denied. Like it doesn't make sense for people to go fully into alts, I think. I do think alts are going to are like at pretty reasonable levels again against BTC. And I also think BTC Dominance is going to top out shortly after BTC spot ETF approval, for example. But I also think people are not too eager to get into these alts before this ETF stuff, because either way, on an approval or a rejection, we're probably going to see a big move on BTC. And alts really don't tend to like BTC volatility. They tend to do best when BTC is just in a slow uptrend, I'd say. But even then this year, like you can clearly see people are just waiting for this ETF. And if it's get approved, BTC is going to see a huge upside candle. Alts are going to have a hard time keeping up. They will catch up afterwards, I think. But initially, the initial move is going to be BTC mostly. And that's why I think it makes sense that BTC has been so strong relative to the rest of the market. Moving on, Link is one of the coins that are putting in some strength recently. We did still make another lower high here. We're sitting in this mid-range. I think it's all good. Eventually, we will probably test this range high, but for now, I mean, this is trying to find a higher low here. It's pretty choppy on the lower time frames. But I think as long as we hold this market structure, like even if we go down back here and we do something like this and go from there, that's still all good. We make a higher low and then at some point it can probably take out all these highs at once, as I think there's a lot of stops placed above these, and I think it's going to test this range high. And then from there, it will really depend. Is it just going to be one big squeeze and it's going to fall back in? This would be super ugly, and I think it's going to look rather bearish. But if we get a solid break above, we consolidate, maybe we retest it and we go up, that's going to look solid, and then we can really look for higher levels. But for this, we really need BTC to also be at like 30K, I think. It's not going to happen when we range around this area. Solana, it's one of the stronger coins actually still. It had a pretty nice recovery from this bottom last month. From here, this consolidation, it's holding up way better than any other coin, I'd say. Would want to see a breakout at some point, of course. But I mean, market structure is intact. Even this, it can first go lower to still make a higher low, you know, this is still perfectly fine, and then go from there. And then the big level, obviously, and let me quickly change these, remove these. Like you can see, even this, like this macro, we get these higher highs and higher lows here. So from there on out, you would technically look for probably a move to, I think, this high. This is prior to the FTX collapse. I think this is a really nice level to take out with these equal highs. But for this, we first really need to get confirmation from a break above, let's say, $27. And I think this could be a nice trade from there on out, depending on how it looks and how the consolidation is. But I think flipping this region, which you can see has had a lot of highs and lows touch here. It's a really good support and reverse resistance zone. And I think flipping this would leave the way open to like this 838-ish level. So that's basically the main trade I'm watching for here. And obviously, that's quite a bit higher. Alternatively, I think a higher low made around here, testing this daily 200 EMA and MA would be decent. But for now, I'm just waiting here. I mean, it's consolidating basically every time frame. Also on this lower time frame, it's just not shown a direction just yet. I would assume this tries to break out, but obviously it's also gonna depend on BTC again. Then some more random coins. I think Mental, I've never held a position in this. It's pretty high market cap. This was previously Bit or BitDAO, and I think they're working closely with Bybit. Like I said, I've not held this coin. I think it's a layer 2 scaling solution, and I think it being a relatively newer coin, and also obviously after the rebrand, it's a new chart, and the Bitcoin obviously has more price history. I think these kind of things can do well later on in the cycle, so I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm just watching this channel for now. I think it can easily still test the lower bound of this channel, and then you want to see something like this, where it kind of changes market structure, breaks, and then at some point you want to see something like this taken out. So really not taking any position at all. We'll set an alert for this, for example, and then see from there. Even though these things got like high market caps or whatever, in this case the treasury is pretty big, and if you really see some upside momentum in the market, these things can easily go. So I'm keeping an eye on it for the time being. Then two coins that were requested from Twitter, Mana and GALA. I think they're looking mostly the same. I mean, it's both metaverse coins. I think Mana looks a bit better with GALA. I mean, GALA, I would want to see at least getting back above this previous low here from December. And Mana is basically trading above that as well. But yeah, I mean, they had a bit of a run up like two weeks ago or so, 1, 2. And I think they could very well be like bottom ranging for a while here. But at some point, like hopefully it doesn't gonna take this long, at some point you need to get these retakes of these levels. For GALA, I'd say yes, this one, but a bit later also this one. I think this is the main one to really confirm like some kind of higher time frame reversal. But even just waiting for this level here, it's 26%, but I mean, the way these coins move, I mean, this was just a dead cat bounce, was 60% already. So even if you wait for this and then you trade all the way up here, let's say to these levels, this is still like a nice move, like 14%, another 14% from that point. I think it's best not to position too early into these and just wait for some strength first. Technically, these can make higher lows here, as a lot of alts can, but you really want to see some bulls step in here at some point. And with no narrative going on and ETH being rather weak, you really need to see some sign of strength in the market. And I think that strength will come if BTC can manage to close above this 28K region. Last thing I will say of this area, like let's inverse it for a bit, because it can give you a different point of view on the situation. Like if I was me mostly being long orientated, as I think in the long term that is the most or the best thing for me personally. Let's say forget about the colors of the candles. Let's say we're looking for longs here. Obviously, we had a retest of this daily 200 MA. We had a nice reaction, but it got slammed back down. Now we're testing it again. We initially had a nice sweep and rejection again, but it got slammed back down again. And now we're still hovering on top of here. So yes, technically this will be support. But still, I would not really want to long this until, let's say, 27K here is retaken as well. Because this is just, like, the longer it sits here, the more likely you're just going to see one more candle back down. And then, in this case, it would look really awful being inversed here on the chart. So with that in mind, I think we're just gonna have to patiently wait. I think 27k, now back to to the normal view. 27k is basically my line in the sand for any bullish higher time frame reversal. Like, I don't want to see this happen here. If so, I think we're just gonna go straight back to this 26k area, which we had spent so much time in. And eventually, I don't think this would lead to a higher low or anything here, but I think it would lead to a more downside. So I think the bulls would need to step in. Now they got like the upper hand on this lower time frame. Like, we had a nice uptrend for a while. Well, now I can say it's nice, but it's an uptrend, but it's been really choppy. We're consolidating against this resistance, and now it's the time to push through. So I think the bulls know what to do. If they can do so, I think 29k would be a logical next target. If not, 27k is the line in the sand, and ideally I don't think it should even lose this Sunday low for now. But I think, let's say we sweep this, could still be okay. Like, let's say you get something like this and then move up. That would be fine, but I think going back below here and then starting to slowly bleed down here, don't think that's gonna be ideal, and it's probably just gonna cause acceleration down at some point. And then this region has been holding for now, but I think that's if you test this again, I don't think it's gonna hold, honestly, and it's just gonna probably head back down and head into the 26Ks. So that's it for now. 28k most important. On the downside, 27k most important, and from there on out we'll just see. And I think alts won't really do anything meaningful until BTC has chosen the direction. And for now, people are just waiting for BTC to show the way. So I hope you enjoyed. I wish you all a good day and good luck with everything. Check out the links below, subscribe if you liked it, and yeah, good luck with your trading. Bye-bye.